Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Charlotte, North Carolina for the 2015 Immaculate Training International High School Showcase. Coming up for the next game of the day, we have another boys game featuring some of the players we saw earlier in the day and some new players, and I will do my best to get you caught up on all of the names, jersey numbers, and names as we get underway. I am Marcus Shockley with Netcast Sports Network. I'm glad you guys are here once again for this next game. Beautiful day outside. We're in the gym here at Hickory Ridge High School, just north of Charlotte, North Carolina. 16-minute halves, as always. We will do our best to adjust. As if you've been with us for the earlier part of the day or earlier games in the day, then you know that our score on the screen is not the official score or time, but we do our best to keep it in sync with the official scoreboard. Most of the day today, these free throws have been 1 for 2, meaning one free throw for 2 points. Sometimes they will grant an and one. Running clock for much of the day. Substitutions and that sort of thing is all running clock, and we are about to get underway. Team Blue with one of my favorite players that I've watched over the AAU season and into the last high school season, Jalen McManus, getting ready to jump off for Team Blue. Going against Tarek Perry, who had a good game earlier. And right away the ball tapped out. Jalen McManus, number 86 in Team Blue. Definitely a player who is dynamic and can make things happen. And speaking of a player who can make things happen, Rayshawn Neal, number 103, running the point. And I gave him an unofficial triple-double in the earlier game we saw today. We'll see what comes in. And here's another player who had a solid outing early, and that's Tarek Perry. And he gets his team on the board very quickly. And just like that, Team Blue comes back to score. A couple of quick buckets to get things rolling here. I believe that bucket was scored by E.J. Chambers, number 101. Steal by Simpson and open court over the top of Jalen McManus, and that is Terrain Simpson with a bucket. Number 68. Shot no good, rebounded by Nicholas Doctor, number 39. Kicks it out to A.J. Horn. A.J. Horn, number 52, he can't hold on to it. That's going to be a turnover. Going back over to Team Blue. Stop, pop, no good, over the top. Rebound is good. Here's Rayshawn Neal, 103 once again. We're running that point. Simpson on the outside. Back over to Neal. Neal wants to drive. No look pass, but it does end up back in the hands of Simpson. He gets it out to Horn, and Horn's shot is good. So Team White picking up where they left off in their last game. Now here's Jalen McManus. Devondell Irish, number 77, his shot no good. Now here's Simpson once again, splits the defenders, kicks it to the corner. That shot's no good. Rayshawn Neal runs it down. He finds Doctor under the basket. Team White now getting their offense established on the move. And once again, E.J. Chambers catches the defense napping. Rayshawn Neal over to Horn. Horn's shot rims out. Rebound by Tarek Perry. And Perry's going to draw the foul. Perry showing he has great upper body strength. Looks like a wing player, but has been able to really get some work done on the inside. Slash and no good there for Devontae Young on Team Blue. Now we're on the other side. Simpson to the corner to Doctor. Now way outside for Perry. His shot no good. Once again, Devontae Young not able to finish there. Rayshawn Neal drives, finds Horn. Horn kicks it out to Simpson. Simpson shot, drop. There's Jalen McManus. He's going to try an outside shot. Team Blue not able to find the bottom of the bucket on that trip down. But Horn does. They build themselves a quick 7-point lead here early in the first half. There's Jalen McManus. Now McManus, a very versatile player, about 6'5". Shot rattles in on the outside. I believe that was Devontae Young with that shot, keeping the score close early. And that's what you want to see. You want to see, you know, and I'm not going to speak for college coaches, but there's a couple of things you want to see. You want to see, do guys understand where they're supposed to be? Do they read the defenses when they attack on offense? But probably more importantly, do they actually play defense, and do they understand how to play defense? In open pickup style, it's tough to find players that play defense, and it's tough to find multiple players on the same team that play defense. And we got a timeout on the floor. One of the few times that we'll see the clock stop today. Once again, you're watching the Immaculate Training International High School Showcase here in Charlotte, North Carolina, put on by Immaculate Training. I encourage you to check them out if you're now, this is the thing about Immaculate Training that we really like, is they don't just do high school events, and we've got high school boys and high school girls today, but they also do a lot of pro events, and they have a team coming up and headed over to play in Estonia. A lot of the guys that come over, and we did the pro event they had a couple of months ago. A lot of really solid pro guys, overseas guys. Some of those guys have played pro for a long time. So Immaculate Training is taking a team over to Estonia next month, I believe, in September. The cool thing for us is I'm involved with Basketball Elite. That's the Basketball Elite logo that you see there on the jerseys. BasketballElite.com, and that's exactly what they'll have on the jerseys when they go to Estonia. Very proud of that. We'll be sort of helping sponsor that pro event, pro team. Deep outside shot is good by Devontae Young, starting to find his range, and that's a three ball. Drive by Perry, pulls up from the elbow, good. One thing about Perry is that he's very deliberate with the ball. Chambers. Del Irish shot. First shot doesn't drop, second shot does. Blue getting just enough done to keep this game tight so they can be within striking distance. There's Horn working against Jalen McManus. A.J. Horn pulls him out, turns, but McManus recovers and uses his length, but he's going to be called for the foul. I thought that was a pretty good recovery by McManus, but Horn getting the better of that matchup. He did a good job of turning his back to McManus, and when McManus came to check him up, body him up, he spun and raced right for the basket. Horn makes them pay right there with that. Gets that 2-point, 1-for-2 shot at the free throw line to push Team White lead out. There's Neal with a little no-look pass to Horn. Horn is just the receiving end of many passes and really making those assists pay off for his teammates. Basically, they're getting him the ball, and he's finishing it every single time down the floor. Here's Simpson with a little Euro step. Gets too far into the basket, and that's going to stay with Team White. Outside shot being knocked to the floor. Tarek Perry. A little razzle-dazzle. No foul call, but he drops the three, and now there's Jalen McManus, and he's going to get the three, I believe. Wouldn't be surprised to see McManus come alive here. He's a very dynamic player. And somebody missed a defensive assignment there, and A.J. Horn makes them pay. Once again, I've called his name a lot in this game already. There's McManus. He wants to drive, spin, stop, kicks it out. The Young. That's an assist for McManus and a 3-ball for Devontae Young, number 21. Rayshawn Neal trying to use a screen there, a little bit of a ball screen. Simpson drains that shot with a defender right in his face. Coach is telling him, don't argue about that turnover, just get back and play defense. Good advice. You guys have to shake it off. I mean, you're going to have calls go against you. You may not agree with them, but you just got to shake that off. A lot of coaches say, don't look at the NBA guys and the way they complain about every play. That's not the way you're going to win. That's just politics. And those guys can play. As Rayshawn Neal keeps his dribble alive, drives, slices, ball is knocked away. They're going to call a foul. That's going to send Rayshawn Neal to the line. Rebounded by McManus. So that's going to send E.J. Chambers to the line. Thought I heard somebody say timeout, but that's not the case. E.J. Chambers, number 101. Rebounded by McManus, and he puts it back. They get their 2 points through the hands of McManus. Jalen McManus. Horn turns, spins. No good. Rebounded once again by Jalen McManus. Shot knocked away. Del Irish comes up with Rayshawn Neal with a block right into the basket. Now here's Horn in transition in the open court. Stops, gets it out to Simpson. Simpson's shot no good. Rayshawn Neal tried a no-look pass over there to Perry. That's going to go off the fingertips and out, and that's going back over to Team Blue. We're heading down to about 5 minutes left here in the first half. Here's E.J. Chambers. Little wraparound pass, can't connect. Neal with a full court pass. Corralled by Simpson, and Simpson with a little tomahawk action. Little Jordan-esque slam for Terrain Simpson. A little bit of a rim grazer, but had that leg kick out a little bit. Reminiscent of MJ, who owns the team in town. Owns the newly renamed, reminted this year Charlotte Hornets. Bringing that name back to Charlotte. Much to the delight of residents in the area and all the state of North Carolina. We really were fans of the Charlotte Hornets. Glad to have that name back. And this is where Jordan owns the team. Inside score by E.J. Chambers. And we have a timeout on the floor. One of the coaches is not happy. Today's event is being organized by Immaculate Training, brought to you by Netcast Sports Network. You can check out all of the games on demand at netcastsports.com, and you can also go to YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. Just go to the search and search for Netcast Sports Network or just Netcast Sports. You should bring us up. You'll see a couple hundred games that we've got on there at least. I think we've done about 50 since March. Counting AAU, because, AAU games can pile up in a hurry, and we like to bring as many as we can. Try to find as many players as we can and all that stuff. And we've got some football hopefully coming up in the fall. That'll be a new venture, a new foray into another sport. We've done mostly basketball up until now. And then, of course, the high school basketball season starts up in November. And we have some fantastic games coming up once again in November. Some national teams, some nationally ranked teams. We've got some regionally ranked teams coming up in December, and we have some stuff coming up in January. It's just good stuff all around. So check out Netcast Sports Network, and of course follow us on Twitter at Netcast Sports. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're worldwide. Nice finish inside. Pushes that lead out to 10. So White really getting their offense going here. So over to McManus. McManus with a floater, bounces around and drops. Team Blue, they want to lock down here. Their coach is imploring them, we need to stop here. We've got to stop the flow of offense for Team White. And that is going to dribble off the foot of Tarek Perry. Usually very deliberate with the ball. That time just sort of got away from him. Feed inside and score. And that is Jaron Phillips with a quick release with the left hand and score. So they basically did exactly what their coach was imploring them to do. They got a defensive stop, and then they got a quick score. Horn from the outside. Shot is short, but rebounded by Rayshawn Neal. And that's going to stay with Team White after it goes across the baseline. Drive by Neal, up, scoop shot, circus, little acrobatic shot. Doesn't go. A.J. Horn's shot doesn't go, and now we're going the other direction. Team Blue, they want to take advantage in transition. That shot is blocked and knocked out of bounds. Devontae Young had his shot blocked, but they will retain possession. Young to McManus. He's going to turn, kicks it out. That is going to be a foul, and that's going to turn the ball over to Team White. Shot too strong. Corralled by Rayshawn Neal. A little over-the-shoulder pass. McManus dangerously close to getting a goaltending call, but gets it, scores, and he's going to draw the foul. And that is a good play for them now because that sends him to the line for the N1 opportunity that's going to cut the lead. So they've pretty much erased that 10-point deficit. They still trail even if he hits this shot, but they've gotten it back to a manageable level right before the half here. Nice play from Jalen McManus once again. Neal into Horn. Horn backs his defender down. Ball rolls around. Good play by Horn. He got the shot up quickly, and that prevented his defender from being able to adjust. Stop by Simpson, over the top, good. Now here's Chambers. Over to McManus. Jalen McManus, there's several college players out here. Jalen McManus is absolutely a college player, and I've had a few colleges call me about him after his AAU season. We did I think we broadcast 2 of his games during the April live period with the Charlotte Nets, and he was really solid every time we saw him. And then I saw him during the July period. Was equally as impressed, was not surprised to start getting texts and calls from college coaches who asked if I had seen him and what I thought. Rayshawn Neal with a couple of points there at the line. Speaking of another college prospect, I definitely think Rayshawn Neal falls into that category. Neal with the rebound. Simpson with a no-look pass inside to A.J. Horn, and A.J. Horn has just been destroying the defense on the inside. They've got to make some adjustments, and there's Chambers, and that's going to do it for the first half. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, we're back here, second half underway here at the Immaculate Training International High School Showcase. I am Marcus Shockley with Netcast Sports, settling in for the second half of the game here. Deep outside shot by E.J. Chambers, no good. And yet another rebound on the day for Rayshawn Neal, the guard, to Tarek Perry. And that's going to be a foul, and I believe that's going to send Perry to the line. And 1 for 2. Perry makes it pay at the free throw line. Now here's E.J. Chambers working against Simpson. Devontae Young over to the corner. Now here's McManus. His shot no good. Rebounded by Chambers. Kicks it back over to Del Irish. Back-to-back scores for Del Irish now from Young. Young with the assist. Couple of quick buckets, and that closes the gap considerably. Unlike the last game, there hasn't been there was a 10-point lead at one half, which is pretty sizable, but at no point has Team White really looked like they were pulling away in this one. They've had control of the game pretty much from the tip, but they've never had a stranglehold on the lead here. They've just had to really stay after it, and Team Blue has always just been hanging around and they are able to close that gap. They'd like to get some stops and really get that. They did have it down to a manageable level, about 3 points in the first half, and that's going to be a travel on Rayshawn Neal. It looked good, but it won't count. So right here is another opportunity for Team Blue. They'd really like to get a bucket down here, a 2 or a 3, cut this down to a 2 or 3 point lead, 3 or 4 point lead, I'm sorry. There's McManus. Now here's Neal in the open floor. Score for Rayshawn Neal. Too hard. Those passes on the inside, you've got to have a deft touch. It's like you've got to throw it with enough speed and velocity and accuracy to get it to your teammate, but not so hard it's like a rocket. Quarterback Brett Favre was always known for that, throwing the ball so hard sometimes his receivers couldn't catch it. John Elway, another one of those rocket pass it players, and it's great if you can put it on the money, but you got to be able to put it on the money with just the right amount of touch. Nice pass there to Jalen McManus. Good hands by McManus, and he finishes inside. Tarek Perry with a nice little step through and finish. McManus with the reverse, and he's going to get the foul call. Perry felt like his defense was good, but the result is McManus at the line. And with that 1-for-2 situation, free throws become big. McManus makes it pay off. Like I said, Team Blue just hanging around, now only down by 5. Simpson, running floater is good. The big problem for Team Blue here is they're just not consistently locking down on the defensive end. That's their number one problem. I mean, they've been able to score effectively, but their defense is sagging at all the wrong times. They've lost A.J. Horn a lot, and he's made them pay. And just like the first game we saw, Neal and Perry are very dynamic from outside, and Horn's been on fire. And here's a nice little steal and finish by Devontae Young, and that helps. Good defense on that trip down by Devontae Young. Neal a little between the legs, up and finish. Nice little dazzling play there from Rayshon Neal. Now here's Chambers. Showed early he could score with the ball. Perry behind his back. Almost loses it, keeps control of the ball, gets it over to Simpson. Simpson is knocked to the floor, and that's going to be a foul. Now he looked to me like he got his shot off, so I would believe this would be a free throw shooting situation for Simpson. And that does look like that's going to be the case. Terrain Simpson, number 68, to the line. He showed a nice array of shooting and scoring maneuvers in this half. Unfortunately, he can't convert there. Finish inside by E.J. Chambers on the assist from McManus. And here's Rayshon Neal. One thing I like about Neal is that he does understand when it's time to slow the game down. Steal in the open floor here by Devondale Irish, and he scores. Cutting into that lead, Team Blue not going away. Perry, he was pretty much unguarded because he was so far back behind the three-point line, decided to take a chance with it. Feeds it behind his back, saves the ball. Nice play by Perry. Little bank shot, running bank shot by Doctor, I think. Right now, I think the spacing is not great for Team Blue. And I know a lot of you guys are at home watching and laughing about this thing. You know, Marcus, this is pickup ball. You're not going to see fantastic spacing, but I would like to see the players standing around a little less, a little bit more motion. Even in pickup, you know, guys can get their shots off if they'll move without the ball. That's going to send Jerron Phillips to the line. Rattles around and in. Team Blue just staying within striking distance here. Couple of quick plays from Team Blue, and that's going to be a timeout for Team White. We're going to adjust our score 55-50 in favor of Team White with 8:22 remaining in the second half. Once again, I'm Marcus Shockley with Netcast Sports Network. Thank you guys for joining us today here at the Immaculate Training International High School Showcase. From Charlotte, North Carolina. I mentioned earlier that you can follow us on Twitter at Netcast Sports. Let me give you a reason why you should do that. As if you don't have enough going on in your life, this will actually help you. It will. Basically, we often adjust because of AAU and events like this, and you may not always know when games are coming up that you want to see, and we like the flexibility of that. We like the dynamic nature of being able to bring you games at the last minute. And you might not know that, hey, there's a Kentucky recruit playing or a UNC recruit or just whoever, somebody in the region, a good matchup between regional teams. And follow that Twitter account. We'll announce it. You know, we'll do our best on Twitter and Instagram to keep you updated with games as they're announced, and you can be in the know and you won't miss anything. Or you'll at least know when they're on demand, too. You can say, hey, I missed this game, but it's being replayed today, and now I can watch it anytime I want. So definitely give that a follow. Del Irish inside to McManus. Over the top and good. Team Blue still sticking around. Their coach is just imploring them that we need some stops. They need some stops. And they have adjusted the score here again. So we'll do the same. Turnover. And you can see the coach is very happy about that because they got that defensive stop that he was begging for, that they needed. Nobody stops the ball until it gets to the rim, and then Tarek Perry says, hey, I'll stop the ball. Swats it out of bounds. And it looks like White's going to keep it on this end. Inside to Perry. Tarek Perry's had a really solid day. I really like his game. He's got a lot to offer. College coaches should definitely be keeping an eye on him. And he's got great upper body strength, dynamic scorer. And as he showed you back on the other end, he can play a little defense too. Nice little fake by Perry to the elbow. He likes that shot. That time he can't get it to go, but Rayshawn Neal with the double hand two-tap back off the backboard and in. Chambers' pass is off the hands of a teammate. And we've got to grab a hold back here. Over here on the sideline. Still plenty of time, even with the running clock for Team Blue. They're not so far out of it, but this 8-point deficit is something they should be at least a bit concerned with 6 minutes left to play. They really need, and really the problem is because they haven't shown a consistent ability to get defensive stops. There they get one, so that's good. Here's Chambers. He can hit that shot, and he does, and that's a 3-ball. That's going to be a great transition swing for Team Blue. The hands of Chambers. Now here's Perry. Can't get the shot to drop, but he does get the free throw opportunity coming. Draws the foul, goes back to the line. Somebody in the building is not happy with that call. Free throw, no good, and we got a loose ball foul. And that's going to turn the ball. Well, it looked like Team Blue had gotten the rebound, but that just solidified it. Del Irish. Del Irish kicked it back to Jerome Phillips. Nobody could get that shot to drop. Now swatting it away. A little lackadaisical with their passes on the inbounds. They've got to be a little bit more deliberate. Now here's McManus driving against Horn. This has been a good matchup today. Horn defending. Gets the stop. Now here's Neal in the backcourt. E.J. Chambers picking him up. Neal beats the press up over the top. Rayshawn Neal with another nice coast-to-coast play. Scoop shot, no good. Rebounded by Horn. Really seems like a sense of urgency coming from Team White here. Simpson with the outside shot, and he drains that. He's been doing that pretty consistently all day. Little step back jumper. Now here's Chambers. Thinks about a three. Uses a little change of speed and burns it on the inside there. But still that 8-point lead. They can't seem to crack into that lead here. And that's going to be a foul. I believe that's going to go against Devontae Young. Rayshawn Neal seems like he's going to be able to walk that off. Came up a little slow, and he's going to go to the line. And that is a big free throw because that pushes the lead back out to double digits. Here's Chambers. Once again using that change of speed, but this time Perry reaches back, slaps it away. Horn comes up with it. Now we've got a 2-on-0 break. And another dunk from Simpson. Terrain Simpson. Chambers, shot, drops. That three-point shot is the great equalizer. They cut it back to 9. Now here's the thing, Team White knows they've got a running clock. Now the clock, I believe, will stop. They've got 3:09 on the clock. We'll adjust. There is a point where they'll start stopping the clock. That's kind of a clumsy way of saying that. At this point, with the free throws, the clock will stop. Now, later in the day, they may not do that depending on their time. So Devontae Young here at the line, 21, he really needs these free throws, or this free throw, and he converts. And they're going to call a timeout on the floor. Team Blue's got to figure out some way to consistently stop the offensive flow of Team White. Scoring hasn't been as big of a problem for Team Blue. If it wasn't for the fact that they're just not consistently able to stop the ball getting to the basket for open looks, the cutters, and the deep shot. And it's like I think Team Blue, when they go back and watch the replay of this game, first of all, I'll just apologize, guys, if I've messed up any of your names. You can just hit me up on Twitter, and I do apologize in advance. But, when they're watching this back, they'll probably notice some of the things that they did, some of the gaps they left open, letting those guys get inside a little too easily, and then cheating back some on the wing, and then that allows those open three-pointers. Got to close out on those shooters. Got to close. Stop the guards, stay in front of the guards. There's a lot of things you have to work as a unit defensively, and here they are picking up full court. But Team White gets the ball in, and looks like they're going to beat that press. And when you beat the press, that gives you an opportunity, and they make them pay. That's the danger of the press. There's Chambers. He gets in trouble now. An open court steal. Chambers does get back, and he gets the block, but they're going to call him for the foul, and that's a tough call for Chambers. Perry to the line. And another loose ball foul. But it's going to go over to Blue. Chambers deep, drops it. Just really high pressure on Chambers. He still drops that shot. That three ball has really helped Team Blue stay in this one. But Horn, another bucket. That's been the story all day. That shot doesn't go, knocked out of bounds. Another rebound for Rayshon Neal, but it's knocked away. It's going to stay with Team White, though. Time getting slim here for Team Blue, and they just don't seem to have any answers. And nobody can't finish on that one. It would have been nice. I think we had somebody blocking our camera, so you didn't miss anything. Unfortunately for Team White, they would have liked to have had that throw down, put a little exclamation point on the game. Jalen McManus at the line. Team Blue not giving up. They are picking up at half court, and they get the steal. Chambers drives, kicks to the corner. Shot no good. McManus almost had a hand on it. Team White now, they've got numbers. And they lost those numbers with a very quickly. Over the top to McManus. That's too far back for him to get. Del Irish, he goes back to McManus. Right over the top, that's good. They probably need a lot more of that post play. Just a consistent, probably when they look back at this, they probably would have gone inside a lot more to try to get some of that consistency. Inside, good. Another shot for Perry. We're going to adjust once again. Chambers, deep shot on the outside. That shot's no good. And desperation shot at this point. I think that might do it. This Team Blue is going to fall back into a half-court defensive set. Team White is in no hurry. There's no shot clock here, so they're not going to take a shot unless somebody fouls or makes them take a shot. And, fouling's not a great strategy at this point because of the 1-for-2 thing, 1-for-2 rule that we're implementation. But here's McManus in the open floor, and he throws that down rather quickly. A.J. Horn with a little shake and bake, gets it up to Doctor, and that scores. And that's going to do it. I want to thank you for joining us. We'll see you in the next game.